Now, I feel a little silly putting this on YouTube, but I kind of wanted to show off a little bit. I like making clay starships. Sometimes they come out some good, sometimes they just come out terrible. But I have a map that goes with it. I combine several different shows from all the Star Treks. There's the Klingon territory, Kazon, Federation, Dominion, Cardassian, Romulan. Try to combine some of the books and stuff too, but it's not just Star Trek. I got Babylon 5, I got Star Wars, quite a bit of Star Wars from the books as well as the movies. I got the Long, the Imperials, the Chiss, the Republic. I also got Gene Roddenberry's Andromeda for the Nietzscheans and Commonwealth. I got the show Firefly with Serenity with the Reavers and the Core Worlds. I got Dune with the Machines. I got Farscape. Even threw a little bit of Superman in there. Got Battlestar Galactica. There's some Stargate. Trying to combine all of them into one universe to related nations and states. Just trying to combine all the shows. It's 19 shows in all. 252 states with 41 nations. Alright, we'll get to the ships. The Klingons are the ones that I have the most of. It's just some of them are based off traditional design. Got the Klingon bird of prey. Some of them is kind of a mixture of my own design with traditional design. Some of them just are what they are, but I do have some pretty decent ones. Got the Kazon. The black ships are kind of hard to see. Got the Orion. All these pretty much would be the allies of the Klingons, the Lathians. I got the Hygeans in there. Nausicaans. Caspellans from the original series. Some of them didn't actually have ships of their own, so I had to come up with my own design of them. Got several Breen vessels. Clay does tend to warp sometimes. Of course, got the Cardassians. I think I did pretty good on this one. Got the Romulans, several Warbird style ships. This includes all the ones from when I started on through, so the longer I do it, the better I get sometimes. Got the Dominion. Got the Vong, mostly to try to design my own since they're based off a living ship concept. Got the Serenity style vessels. And detail really ain't that hard to put in there. Sometimes it gives me some trouble. Got a Reaver battle cruiser. Right, so of course got the Star Wars. Try to do some of the Imperial Star Destroyer type designs for the Republic since they are an offshoot pretty much. Try to decide some ships for the Wookiees and the Bothans, the Mon Calamari. Of course, got the Trade Federation. Got the Chiss. Definitely went with an Imperial style design for the Chiss. The books aren't very descriptive about how they should look. Of course, I got Dune, which pretty much all of them are black, which makes it kind of hard for them to see. Kind of like how this one turned out. A lot of people where I stay at suggested I try to sell them, but one, I know they're not that good. It's just a hobby of mine. And two, copyright issues. I can't sell something for Star Trek and stuff. But got Babylon 5, the Minbari, the Narn. This one came out pretty good. Sometimes I can get some pretty good detail. The bottom, of course, is always hard to get the detail because it's soft clay that hardens over time, well, about a day. So I have to get all the detail in before it hardens, but trying to mold it, get the detail in, is easier to have it on a flat surface, which makes it hard to do some of the detail. That's it. That's from Farscape. Got the Sebastian Cruiser. Try to look up some of the designs on the internet best I can. The Ori from Stargate, which I have a couple of Stargate ships. Got a traveling cruiser, replicator. Well, actually, the Shurins or something like that, where the replicators on Stargate Atlantis. And you got Battlestar Galactica, several kind of a colonial design on them. Yes, Andromeda. I always did like that show. The Nietzscheans were kind of our converted freighters, and I couldn't really find anything on the show to try to get their design, so I kind of had to design them myself. I guess this would be part two since my phone cut off, but over here I got my Star Trek. my Enterprise in from the first couple of movies. Probably my favorite one. Probably one of my best ones. I got pretty much all the Enterprises from the NX to on through from several of the movies. Got Star Trek Voyager. Try to get some of the detail on the bottom at times. My Defiant. Try to do a little bit from all the shows. Got my Vulcans. Really don't have a whole lot of light, but of course, got my Imperials. Try to make some destroyers. The first one definitely did not come out all that well. Of course, the Enterprise D from Next Generation, Galaxy class battle cruiser. All in all, I do have a whole lot of them. But I'll probably get a lot of complaints, well, this don't look like that, or this don't look like this. It's just a hobby, and I'm getting better with it. I ain't been doing that long at it. Kind of a rumbling bird of prey. Like I said, there's some good ones, some bad, well, a lot of bad ones, but I've seen some on YouTube that's done real good, but kind of got my Miranda class. It's kind of hard to design it. Of course, the original series. Took me a good while to figure out how to do the neck and pylons without them falling apart. That was one of the biggest problems I had with them. Just to kind of give an idea, this is one of my first attempts at the Enterprise A, as it definitely did not come out that good. But the longer I do it, the better I get. I definitely got better on my second round. I'm gonna try to get some more clay here soon. But like I said, it combines 19 shows and all. Pretty much all the science fiction shows for ships that I could think of. Of course, like I said, most of it is based on Star Trek, but got some pretty good Klingon ships. Some of the designs came off the internet, which I'm assuming is from like the games and stuff. My attempt at the Nigvar battle cruiser, still working on it. It's kind of hard to do the next. It's supposed to be kind of like the Chancellor class off of the books. Pretty much try to divide my Klingons into different houses, use all the Klingons from the show, so each ship represents a house. Made a big one, and definitely did not come out quite like I wanted it to. See, I guess that would be about it. Got my Sovereign class Enterprise E. B from Star Trek Generations. A lot of these I did by memory before I was able to get access to the internet. So overall, I don't think I did too bad. My Marquise fighter. That one actually had a picture to go by. Like I said, no matter how hard I try, I can't get them picture perfect, but this is the Lutzen from Far. This is going to be part 3. I'm going to make a Vorcha class attack cruiser and kind of go through the process from start to finish, which I'm not going to be recording the whole time, but I'm going to try to get as much as possible. Of course, I'm working with the picture this time, which I usually don't, but I'm going to give it a try. I got my standard clay, comes into a pack about this size. I got my tools, that's what I usually work with. It ain't much, that's one reason why I don't come out all that well. I got my container for storing the clay when not in use. That way it don't harden up on me till I'm ready for it. And I got my work area where I'll be recording. But it's time to make that ship right there, or at least as close to it as I can. I'm going to be making it in layers this time. That way, hopefully, I get more detail and come closer to the way it's supposed to look. But, alright. I'm going to take my clay. I'm going to open it. And the clay is kind of dry, so I'm going to have to come back to it after I resoften it. I guess that clay was an anomalous one. So I found another pack that ain't hard yet. Put my other clay in my container for now. This is what I'll start to have to work with. Got the primary layers what I'm going to work on first. So just trying to mainly build the shape I need. Like I say, it's always better to work with a flat surface. As you can see, switch my camera angle a little bit. It's this part here, along with I'm going to try to do that layer first. Then later on I'll come through and add this, and a little bit of the detail here. The warp nacelles I'm going to do at a separate time. But like I said, just mainly get the body of it down first. It don't look like much now. It'll start to look better kind of when it gets some detail. But try to work on some of the detail a little bit on the front section. Kind of use this piece a little bit from. I don't have a whole lot to work with. The pencil does come in very handy, especially when it comes to doing my detail. Camera ain't quite picking up as much as I would like, but I'm not going to make a 10-hour long video, so I'm going to go ahead and pause it here while I work out some of the details on this. Alright, I worked some of the detail in. I got the front command part, the neck, part of the body. I still got to do the warp nacelles and stuff. This is just the first layer, as it ain't picture perfect. I don't think I'm ever going to get it picture perfect, but there is a little bit of my own design into it, mainly because I can't draw that well, so it ain't going to come out like it should all the time. It's a little bit crooked, but there ain't too much I can do about it. Got to work a little bit more on the back side, but as you can see, I've gotten part of this area here along with the neck. Now, I know it ain't perfect. I've gotten part of this area in there. I try to get this part right here a little bit. Naturally, I got this part here with the bridge console for the weapons a little bit. Couldn't quite get the shape like I wanted it to, but naturally the warp, oops, The warp nacelles are going to go here and here. Kind of got the parts sticking out for it. I got another picture I'm going to use to try to make a warp nacelle, but it won't be tonight. I got to make this part here. That's going to go right in here. Naturally, I got this part here that's going to go in here. And like I said, the warp nacelles, still got to make them, but shouldn't be too hard to make that part. I'm going to wait till this part that I've already made dries after I work a little bit more on the back side of it, even though I can't see the back side in the picture. But like I said, just work a little bit on there, let it dry. Then I got two parts to make for the top layer, and then the two warp nacelles and a little bit on the bottom. I'm going to try to have some detail on the bottom of this one, but it's still a working process. But this is basically how it goes when I make a ship. Usually it's by memory, but the picture really don't help me that much. I still don't quite come out like I need it to, but when I begin working on the other part, I will continue with this video. So I finally got around to making this part and this part. Kind of hard to see. It's going to be this part here. It's going to go across the neck there. Probably should have made the neck a little bit longer. And then I got the back part for this part here. Once it dries, I'll be able to put it on. Use the standard glue, kind of strengthen up these supports where I added on that, and then attach this part and this part here and here. Once they dry, the glue will hold it actually pretty well. That's one way I worked out on my nacelles, since this clay is light enough for the glue to hold. Then I'm probably about to work on the bottom part of the ship using this picture here, kind of make this part here and kind of these back parts. I don't think that was part of the original plan, but we'll see. Obviously this picture is of a toy ship, but I'm going to use here and this picture here to try to do the warp nacelles, which I'm not quite ready to start them. I'm going to do the bottom of the ship and let it dry. That way I have top and bottom, and add these two parts. Once all that's complete, then I'll do the nacelles. But it's still a work in progress. It's on my second day. I think I'm about 15 minutes into the video, but continue going as long. Last night made about 11 minutes worth of video, but it took me about an hour to put all the detail and stuff into it. And I ain't trying to make one that long, but start again in just a. Alright, I finally got around to making the bottom of my ship. And you see, I also got around to making my warp nacelles. So it's almost complete. I still gotta wait for everything to fully dry and then use the glue to stick it all together. But basically, this is what it's going to look like when it's done, which once I fully complete it, I'll finish out the video. It's not too bad. I should have made the neck longer, maybe the command module a little bit longer and narrower, but that's basically what it's coming out to be. Add a little bit more to the bottom of the cells for the detail, kind of like I did to the bottom of the ship, but that's what I started off with on my picture. So all in all, I don't think it came out too bad. I said neck should have been a little bit longer, but I got a few more seconds to add to it when I finally put it all together and show it off. But so far, that's my Voyager class attack cruiser. So I decided not to go through with the bottom nacelle. Um, but anyway, this is my final product. My Voyager class attack cruiser. Like I said, I definitely should have made the neck longer and the command console a little better, but overall it came out pretty good. I like it.